The morning broke slowly over the red earth of Benin Kingdom, as mist clung to the tops of Iroko trees and the distant beat of wooden gongs echoed through the palace courtyards. Inside the inner chambers, where only royal blood walked barefoot upon cool, polished floors, Queen Naomi labored through the final pains of childbirth. When the child came, the midwives froze. The boy was large, too large. His limbs were thick like carved wood, his chest rising with quiet, steady breaths. But there was no cry. No announcement to the spirits. No sound to proclaim his arrival to the ancestors. They waited. Nothing. In that silence, something shifted. Outside, the palace still buzzed with life, unaware that destiny had just been bent. Before the sun reached its height, another cry pierced the air, sharp, urgent, alive. From another chamber, Queen Idia held her newborn son, his voice declaring his presence to heaven and earth. The elders nodded. The cry meant life. The cry meant claim. And so the second son, Oba Esegi, became the heir. The first, the silent one, was named Aruan. Aruan did not grow like other children. By the time boys his age chased grasshoppers in the fields, he stood taller than grown men. His feet pressed deep into the soil, each step heavy with unnatural strength. They whispered about him in markets and moonlit gatherings, how he could uproot young palm trees with his bare hands, how his laughter shook the walls of Udo, how each of his feet bore 6 toes, as if the earth itself had tried to give him more balance for the power he carried. He was not blind to the whispers, nor to the truth. I was born first, he would say, his voice low like distant thunder. The sun saw me before it saw him. But tradition had already spoken. The cry had chosen the king. Their father, Oba Ozoliwa, a warrior king whose reign was marked by conquest and expansion, saw the storm growing between his sons. To quiet the fire, he gave Aruan a title, a land, Udo. You are no less a son of Benin, Ozoliwa told him, placing a heavy coral bead upon his neck. Rule Udo. Let your strength guard our people. Aruan accepted it, but not with peace. Udo became a place of power and fear. Its forests were thick, its rivers deep and dark. Warriors trained under Aruan did not learn gentleness, they learned force. The sound of iron clashing against iron rang from dawn till dusk. And at night, when fires burned low, stories of his strength grew larger than life. Yet far away, in the heart of Benin City, Oba Esegi rode with wisdom sharpened by counsel, especially from his mother, Queen Idia, whose presence was as commanding as any warrior's blade. Peace could not hold. It broke first in whispers, then in raids, then in war. The brothers met not as kin, but as enemies. The battlefield stretched wide beneath a burning sun. Warriors painted in white chalk and red camwood clashed with spears, shields, and machetes gleaming. Drums thundered like the heartbeat of the land itself. At the center of it all stood Aruan. He moved like something not entirely human, lifting men as if they were children, breaking through lines that should have held. His voice roared across the field, calling his claim, his right, his anger. Across from him, Esegi stood firm, not with brute strength, but with strategy, with patience, with something deeper. Battle after battle, neither brother fully claimed victory. Blood fed the earth, but the throne remained in Benin. The final battle came like a storm that had waited too long. Before Aruan left Udo, he handed a bell to his household, a small object, but filled with power. If this bell breaks, he said, his eyes burning with something heavier than war, know that I have fallen. They watched him go, his figure disappearing into the forest, each step shaking the ground. War raged fiercer than ever. Steel met flesh. Shields shattered. The cries of men mixed with the shrill calls of war horns. Aruan fought like a man determined to rewrite destiny itself. But far away, in Udo, the bell broke. No one saw how. No one understood why. But its sound, sharp and final, cut through the air. Grief came instantly. His household did not wait. Wives, children, loyal followers, they ran toward Odigi Lake, their tears flowing as freely as the waters before them. If he is gone, we follow. One by one, they leapt. The lake swallowed them. Aruan did not die that day. When the battle ended and the dust settled, he returned, not victorious, but not defeated. Just a man still carrying a war that refused to end. Then he saw it. Silence in Udo. Too quiet. He ran. For the first time, the giant ran like a frightened child. His feet tore the earth, his breath heavy, his heart pounding louder than any drum he had ever known. At the lake, he found nothing but still water. An absence. Then came the final blow, news that his son had fallen in battle. Something inside him broke in a way no weapon ever could. The strength that uprooted trees could not hold back grief. The warrior who shook battlefields could not fight emptiness. Without a word, Aruan stepped into the water. The same water that had taken everything. The same water that now called him. And the giant of Udo disappeared beneath its surface. Even today, in the quiet corners of Udo, elders speak his name with a mix of fear and reverence. They say the spirit of Aruan still walks the forest, still guards the land, still listens when the wind moves through the trees. Not as a king, but as something else. A force that was never meant to be silent.